In today's news about creatures that almost certainly don't exist, we have the Mothman visits Chicago. If you've heard of the Mothman, it's probably because of the 2002 movie The Mothman Prophecy, starring Richard Gere. The movie had nothing to do with prophecies, but it did feature a large, dark creature whose only similarity to a moth that I could see is that they both have wings. To me, it looks more like a cross between a spider monkey and a peregrine falcon. Oh, and it has glowing red eyes. I'm a little mystified by the guy in the inset. He seems to be waving cheerily, like he's completely at ease. Hey y'all, he seems to be saying, I have no problems with standing next to a scarlet-eyed creature from the ninth circle of hell. Which brings up another point I've never understood. What's with the glowing eyes? Reflective eyes I can understand. A lot of nocturnal creatures have a tapetum lucidum. It's a structure behind the retina that's a bit like a mirror. Light passing through the retina that gets missed by the receptors, bounces off the tapetum, goes back through the retina, and the receptors have another chance of grabbing those particular photons of light. It makes their night vision better. This is why, for example, a deer's eyes glow in the headlights of a car. Our own eyes don't do that. We don't have a tapetum. If you've ever noticed the phenomenon of red eyes in photograph, that's not because the light's reflecting off the retina. That's actually because in dim light, our eyes are dilated, and what you're seeing is the blood vessels at the back of the retina, thus the red color. But glowing eyes? Where's the light coming from? Is there a little guy at the back of Mothman's eyes with a flashlight, shining it out through the pupil? The usual course of things, light goes into your eye, not out of it. But I digress. Anyhow, the movie was based on the almost unreadable book by John Keel called The Mothman Prophecy, same as the movie. Most of its 200 pages are about things like the Men in Black and aliens and government conspiracies. The part about the Mothman itself is relatively brief, but I guess he had to elaborate on things, or otherwise his book would have had to have been named The Mothman Short Story. The gist of it is that in 1966 and 1967, a bunch of people near the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, saw this gigantic thing with glowing red eyes and wings. It generated a lot of hysteria, especially when in December of 1967, the Silver Bridge, which crosses the Ohio River at Point Pleasant, collapsed, killing 48 people. Now, what that has to do with the Mothman, I have no idea. Well, the reason all this comes up is because of a friend and loyal reader of Skeptophilia who sent me a link that said that in the last year there have been no fewer than 55 sightings of Mothman near Chicago. Like the West Virginia Mothman, it's described as being large, dark, and bat-like with glowing red eyes. One person said it's a bit like a gothic gargoyle. More disturbing still, some people said that they didn't see it at a distance, that it actually dropped onto the hood of their cars, and in one case, peered through a window at night. Well, the whole phenomenon came to the attention of one Lon Strickler, who has a wonderful site called Phantoms and Monsters. He's been into cryptozoology for decades, and he seems to be very excited about the whole phenomenon. This group of sightings is historical in cryptozoology terms, he said in an interview in Vice. For one, it's happening in an urban area for the most part, and there are so many sightings in that one period. However, Strickler says we shouldn't panic. These beings are less aggressive than the one in Point Pleasant for the most part, he said. I believe overall there was only one being in the Point Pleasant area that was seen during that period, while there appear to be at least 3 here in Chicago. I think they're flesh and blood beings that aren't of this world. Which, now that I come to think of it, isn't actually that comforting. What this brings home once again is my frustration with the fact that these things never seem to happen to me. You'd think I'd have a perfect location for it. Here I am, in a large rambling house out in the middle of nowhere on a wooded lot with a creek. You'd think it would be perfect. But no, I never seem to see any of these things. Okay, I have 2 dogs, but allow me to reassure any beings not of this world who happen to be watching this video that in terms of viciousness, my dogs rank about level with stuffed toys. If Mothman showed up in my yard, I can almost guarantee that Lena, our hound, would sleep right through it. Whereas Guinness, if Mothman thought to bring along dog cookies or even better, a tennis ball, would be his friend for life. So you'd think I'd be a sitting duck. But no, here I sit, and I've never seen a ghost, alien, demon, Bigfoot, Mothman, or sheep squatch. I bet you thought I was going to say I made the last one up, but no, there actually is a sheep squatch, although as you can see from this illustration, anything that looks less like a sheep is hard to imagine. So some people have all the luck. Maybe now that I've pointed out their omission, Mothman actually will pay me a visit. And trust me, you'll be the first to know. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Our resources are down there, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.